Right, am I live? I don't know. I think I'm live. Guys, give me a shout in the chat if I am live. In fact, let me just check. Crypto might be joining me in a bit, guys. But yeah, this is my look ahead to game week 16. I've got some major changes to do to my team. You guys might be in the same boat as me. Let me just have a look. I'm saying it's live anyway. I'm hoping it's live. Anybody who's watching, yo, Keith, thanks for popping in and popping out. But smash that like button on your way through. Thank you, bud. Right, so Crypto's going to join me in a bit. But before we get to it, yeah, a lot going on in this game week, guys. There's so much, so many changes. Obviously, so many games in a short amount of time. Thank you, guys. Nikki, Emma. Brilliant. Thank you. Right, so guys, give me your ideas, man, because what's going on? My game week 15 results were shocking. But I think we were bad all round. But I didn't manage to get a green arrow. I'm gonna go into the team in a bit. I'm just waiting for Crypto to join me. Here he is. Cheeky bastard. Right, let me. I need to put your thingy up so I can see, so everyone can see your.
Oh, Ben's bulldozers.
Yeah, right. Let me just pop that on. Hang on. So, Crypto, how's your game week this week? How did game week 15 go for you?
I seem to kind of average each week out. I'm normally hovering around the average points per week, so nothing special. But I changed out. What was it? I think 8 players. So
well, that was last game week. That was the previous game week. What did you do this game week? The one that's just gone game week 15.
So this week, I'm just having a look at my team. I mean, it looks like a total shit show, to be honest. I can't remember exactly what I did, but it looks pretty bad. I got 35 points, although that, again...
Well, better than me, mate. Average. That's better than me.
I've got so many injuries. I'll read out my injuries to you. I got Lindelof, Lascelles, Son, and Baldock. So I've got 4 injuries, bearing in mind you can only really swap out one player. It's not looking good, so...
We'll have a look at the injuries because I've got. I even in the title of the show I put fun with flags because I've got flags all over the place. I'm going to bring my team up from last week and just, mate, like you said, the average was 35. I managed 30 points last week. Areola didn't play.
He's injured. I don't feel so bad now.
No, you shouldn't have to see this. But Areola is injured, so he's out. We don't know how long for. Let me just go into. Yeah, so we don't know how long he's out for, but the major one for me is Bryan Mbeumo.
Yeah.
So he's so it's been confirmed he's going to be out for a few weeks, so it's not a short-term injury.
It's so frustrating when I heard Wolverine mentioning Neto on the Wolf stream earlier.
Yeah,
like you put them in just as they're in peak condition.
Yeah, well,
they're injured.
Yeah, I only transferred him back in a couple of game weeks ago, and obviously he's got to go. So he won't be there for Sheffield. So this is what we need to bear in mind now with Mbeumo. For me, there's no point in holding on to him. He won't be playing the next few game weeks, so which means he misses the Sheffield United and Aston Villa. Then they've got the blank game week. The double game week in game week 20 still hasn't been confirmed, and then he's off to the AFCON. So for me, you've got to get rid of him. I can't see him playing any of those next couple of games. And if he's not ready for Wolves and Palace, then he goes away to the AFCON. There's no benefit for me to keep him. So I'd take him out. So we need to look at possible options. And I've got, in fact, we'll go into our mini league first. And then I'll talk you through my transfers for this week because you can see red arrows all over for me, but not a huge red arrow because everyone else was pretty poor as well. If you have a look at the top of our leaderboard,
I'm doing pretty well in second.
If look at the average points on our top 10, 20. 40 points is the top there. Let me try and find Emma wherever she is. See if she managed to get a green arrow this week. I know she's had a few. Emma Roberts will know, but better than me. Certainly better than me. Let's have a look. Yeah. So. Similarly, She's got Leno in, so she doesn't need to make a goalkeeper change for me, unless you want to save some money. And if you've got a couple of transfers, Emma, what I may suggest is obviously look for a replacement for Mbeumo, and I'll talk you through the possible options. And similarly, you've got a really great option now with a couple of goalkeepers that are becoming available to save a 0.2 on Areola. I know he's gonna. I think you'd only get 4.2 back for selling him. So you got it's a good chance to have that second goalkeeper. Because would you agree with me, Crypto, that there's a good possibility that Turner gets brought back into the rotation for Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow is going to be a shit show, so the whole team will probably swap around. I wouldn't be surprised if Worrell and McKenna start. I think you've got to bring Turner back in.
That would surprise me big time, but goalkeeper change.
you've got to bring Turner back in. I don't think Vlachodimos is a bad goalkeeper, but your players have to have they've got to have an opportunity to get back into your side. And if Turner doesn't have that opportunity after losing 5-0, then I don't know what gives him that opportunity. Turner for me was one of those players that shows quite a lot of passion, which I'm big on. I've mentioned it before with the Langer, with Murillo, etc. You've got to have players in there who want to actually try and win the game. So if I was Cooper, I'd put Turner back in tomorrow, but it's probably a lost cause.
So in terms of for me, if you're going to change your goalkeeper, I'd change Areola and not Turner. I think Turner will be back in the rotation soon. So this is Crypto's team. Crypto. So what are you thinking? Have you made any substitutions for this game week yet?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, so
remember, I've only got a Nana in there just on purpose because I know Wolverine loves him so much.
Well, you got two goalkeepers. You got two active goalkeepers, and so that's not a bad rotation. And he has got points over the last few weeks, maybe not last game week.
I mean, he was doing all right in the Premier League. I know he had a bit of a shocker in some of the cup tournaments.
In the Champions League games, yeah. So for me, you definitely need some work on your defense because Lindelof's red flagged and Lascelles is yellow flagged. So they're the two changes I'd be looking to make.
And my defender on the benches. But it's annoying because it's going to cost me points again, isn't it? It's going to
cost you 4 points. It's going to cost you 4 points, but take a 4-point hit. You have to. Otherwise, you've got no defenders. You've got no defenders to come off the bench for you. So I would... Bring your team up if you get a chance, and I'll go back through onto my team, and I just want to show you my transfer options and show you the possible changes that you could make for Mbeumo. So let's take.
Hey, I'm not listening to you. You're going to sabotage my team since week 1.
I've given you good advice all the way through. You just don't listen.
Are you still in the top 100,000, or have you?
I am only just. Oh God! Right. Okay. Let me show you. I think I just held on to my status. I dropped about 20,000 places after that game week, but so it wasn't the worst red arrow I could have had in terms of red arrow. So going to game week history. Oh no, I'm outside of 100. Yeah, 107,000. Oof, that was a pretty big drop. So last week, guys, if you noticed, I was talking about the game week ranking, which is a bigger indication than your overall ranking. So my game week ranking for last week was 7.2. For the last game week was 7.2 million. That's why I dropped so many places. The previous week, I was in the top 1 million, and that's why I rose. So yeah, I lost 30,000 places, which I mean, it's still good. I'm still just outside the top 100,000, and I'm a better position than I've been in for years. So I'm not too disheartened by it. But that was my 5th red arrow of the season. And I'd like to go into your team and have a look at yours, mate, at some point. But let's go into the transfers.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, so I carried over my transfer from game week 15. So I've got 2 free transfers going into this because I had the idea that I would take a hit and do what we call like a mini wild card. So I'm making 3 transfers. I'm taking a 4-point hit, but I needed to carry over a transfer from last game week because I was tempted to change out my goalkeeper. But I thought, no, let's carry it over because I knew, one, it was a short turnaround. You didn't have to wait long for the next game week or transfer opportunities. So for me, there's a few places, and this is where I'll take a hit because Dubravka is a really good option. Low budget. He's gone up to 4 million now. He came in for 3.9 million as a goalkeeper. He's gone up to 4 million now. I think he'll rise again to 4.1. But I can't make that move because I locked myself in with 3 Newcastle players already. So unless I'm going to take 8 points,
he's only got a dead leg though. He'll be fine.
I know, but I can't bring Dubravka in until I take another Newcastle player out, and that's an extra hit that I'm not probably willing to take. I've got what I did on my wild card in game week 10 is strengthen my bench. So I had all consistent players basically on my bench. The problem that's caused me is the last few game weeks I've left points on the bench. So last game week it was Khalsa with 8 points. The previous 2 game weeks it was Lascelles, 6 points, 7 points. But I've got to accept that's going to happen because I can't play them all. And as long as I try and get the rotation right, there's going to be times I'm going to leave points on the bench. So when you've got a strong bench of defenders, it's just going to happen. So I'm just going to have to accept that. So let me go into my the options for Mbeumo. Let's take him out. He's definitely going out, by the way. So let's look at the options that we've got. And I've got, I should say, well, I think I had 2.6 in the bank, 9.8 in the bank to play with. And let's look at the options. So, I mean, for me, I've already got Gordon and Palmer in. So they're the budget options that everyone seems to be jumping on. For me, I've not had Saka in for a while, and he keeps going up in price, and he is steady and consistent. But I'm not ready to bring Saka in because I think Saka, when I do bring Saka in, it'll be when Son goes on Asian Cup duty. So that's when I think I'll bring him in. My options, and you can tell me what you think of this, Crypto, is Bowen, Hee-chan, especially because he's playing Forest tomorrow, Sterling. Who was the other one that I was looking at? Sterling. Say again.
Kalevsky.
SUBSCIBE is an option. Kulusevski is an option because he definitely gets a lot of the ball. Kulusevski and even Brennan.
He's been in decent form the last few games.
He has been on decent form, and Brennan as well. So they're my top 3. But then you look at slightly more budget, like look at McGinn. He's been steady all season, and they've got. I know we've got Arsenal at home, but they beat Man City at home. Villa's home record is ridiculous: 14 wins in a row. So he's an option. But do you know what? This is what I'm going for. I'm going for Hee-chan. I've been tempted to jump on him for a little while, and I keep pointing off and pointing out. And he keeps. Let's look at his stats and look how consistent he is, and why for me he's got to be an obvious option. 10 points in the last game week as well, and steady 90 minutes. So with such a busy transfer, such a busy season of fixtures, you want players who are going to give you 90 minutes game in, game out. And that's what I want to fill my team up with. There's no guarantee for any player. I think Palmer was given a rest at the start of game week 14, so some players, Tsimikas is rotation, but my midfielders, I want all my midfielders and my forwards to be pretty much 90-minute men. And he's a good option for that because you're going to have rotation in this busy period. And what you don't want is a headache of wondering if they're going to be playing week in or week out. So Hee-chan, bringing him in gives me 4.1 in the bank, plenty to play with. And the other change I'm tempted to make, because I'm thinking in a couple of game weeks' time, maybe next game week, but I'm going to be switching Alvarez back out for Watkins. And I've got the money to do that. So I want to make sure I've kept some in the bank for that. But I'm going to make a goalkeeper change, and it's not going to be one of the template ones or the ones that people are going for. So I'm going to show you my options, and I want you to chip in, Crypto, with your opinions on this. Leno, you've got. Leno, I think, is a really good goalkeeper because he gets save points. He gets a lot of save points. He gets a lot of bonuses throughout the season. And you can see he's had a couple of double-digit hauls already. So he's an option. But the two that I'm thinking of, one is Sanchez at Chelsea. Purely, I like for their fixtures as well coming up. Look at that run of greens for Chelsea coming up. And I know no.
It looks easy on paper, but you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But you got to
Everton,
kind of
Everton and Sheffield United could quite easily turn them over.
Yeah, absolutely, it could, and there's no guarantee that they're gonna not concede goals. I can still see him conceding in those two games, but I want a bit more of a solid goalkeeper. I think he's an option. If I was going to go slightly higher, I'd go Raya, I think. But also, Sarr missed the last game. I think he's back fit now. He missed the last. In fact, he's missed the. Yeah, he went off injured against Arsenal, and he missed the Burnley game. And they've got a £3.9 million goalkeeper, Bentley.
Surely Emma should be running this stream. She's 29,000 in the world.
No, she's not. She's behind me half the stream. Right. So, yeah, I mean, look at his returns the last 2 game weeks. And he's only 3.9 million. So for short term, and plus it saves me money. If I'm going to just, before I make that change, I'm going to check all the team news. So he's a Wolves goalkeeper, and obviously they're playing us tomorrow as well. And can you see Forest scoring
tomorrow? No, I don't know.
No,
I can't think of a Forest player who's capable of scoring a goal.
Exactly. So I'll give them clean sheet points and possibly potential bonus. So it just depends on whether Sarr's back or not. And if he's not, then I think I'm going to go with Bentley as my goalkeeper change. It will. Let's just put it in without locking it in for now, and then I'd play it. And it gives me a healthy 4.4 million in the bank, which I can do plenty with. You know, I think most people would kill, because what I would like to eventually have is a third option in the strike force. But I want to hold on to it because I don't need to play Lascelles this week. So I think my back three this week is going to be Trippier, Tsimikas, and Gabriel or Khalsa. I don't know, because they're playing each other. I might favour Khalsa over. It's Villa of the home team, and like I say, we just mentioned it. Yeah, I mean, and I left points on the bench with Khalsa last week. You know, he got 8 points against Man City at home. So just purely because of their home record, I might opt with Khalsa over Gabriel. But so I don't need to make Villa Lascelles change this week. Son, I'm pretty sure will play. Even though he's got a yellow flag on him, I'm pretty sure he will play. And if he doesn't, then it'll probably revert to a 4-4-2 for me. So go on.
No, I was just laughing at Emma and Dino's comments in the chat.
Are you able to bring them up?
No, I can't bring them up. No.
Let me just get rid of Nicky's. That's been stuck on there for a while.
Emma was just calling you a cheeky prick.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, she's gone from 29k to 700k, but it happened so quickly. But you know, the guys who are top of our league, mate, they're in the top 2,000 in the world. It's unbelievable. So I'm really proud of our mini league because the guys are doing well. Just want to give them a quick shout out. Harry Price and Ben's Bulldozers, they're doing pretty well in our league. So they're my potential changes for this week. Is anybody else got Mbeumo in the chat? Any of you guys got Mbeumo in your team? And have you already transferred him out? And if not, who would you transfer him out for? From the ones that I've suggested. Have you got Mbeumo in yours?
No.
Have you got your team ready?
Yeah.
Let
me present it. 1 second. Yeah. I've got about 100 different tabs open.
No problem.
Let me close all of these. Right. If I present share screen, hopefully it shares the right screen. There we go. Can you see that?
Right. At the stage. Yep. There we go.
So I'm basically looking for a replacement for Lindelof.
Yeah.
Now I've got 4.7 mil to play with.
Okay.
So it's kind of with these guys really. I mean, there's Mikolenko in there.
Mikolenko's one that I was looking at, definitely.
Yeah, or even, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Is it Gui?
Gay. Right, just click on the eye next to him. Just look at their fixtures because I wouldn't be jumping. I don't think I'd be jumping on. I wouldn't look at their next two fixtures. Right, so for me, a budget option, I wouldn't even go for Mikolenko. Yes, he's got potential returns, but if you're going to go for an Everton one, I'd actually go for Branthwaite, mate. I'd go for Branthwaite. He's only 4.1 million, so it gives you 0.6 in the bank.
Yeah.
And the fixtures aren't too bad, and they've been solid. It doesn't matter what their fixtures are. If you look at click on their history, look at the ones they've got results against: Newcastle, Man U, Forest. Okay, not against Man U, sorry, but they played well against Man U. They should have won that game for me. They were a better team without a doubt. So the performances are good. That's an option.
But he's in better form.
He's in good form.
4.2.
Yeah, no, keep your points in the bank. He's definitely one that I shortlisted for, even to switch out for Lascelles in the next game week. So he's definitely one I've got on my shortlist, Mikolenko. So I wouldn't put you off. I wouldn't put you off going for Mikolenko. Certainly not. I just want to put you some.
I know Ez's reverse psychology is always.
No, I wanted you to have some money in the bank, mate. Because you got to think ahead. You got to have money in the bank at some point as well, because you're going to need to make some changes at some point. Because it props up like who was expecting an Mbeumo injury this week? After most of us bought him in only 2 game weeks ago. So these things, especially in a busy fixture period, do come up. So it's always, for me, it's always better to keep something in the bank if you can. But yeah, I'd make that change for sure.
Yeah, I've just locked that in. I'm not 100% happy with Palmer, but he's on the bench, so that doesn't really matter. Who do you think the captain should be?
I mean, I wouldn't be playing a fullback, so I would definitely be taking Baldock out and putting Palmer in.
Oh, that's switched. Why is that changed?
Yeah, so just transfer out Palmer for Baldock.
Switch.
And move João Pedro across to the first sub. Yeah. Because he has been coming on, and when he tends to come on, I think he might even start this weekend. I think he's a good option. Who are your strikers? You got Nicholas Jackson and Haaland. Okay. Jackson's another one, and I know a lot of people are trolling him. But he's had more chances in the box than anybody else. I know he's missed more than anybody else as well. Probably only Darwin Núñez has missed more chances than him. But he will eventually score, get a couple of braces, so it might be worth. He's not a bad option. He's not a bad option.
He's not that bad.
No, he's not the worst option.
You'd hope that Haaland against Luton. In fact, I might captain Haaland.
What's bothered me so much about your team, Crypto, is that you sold Haaland, got him back in, but you spent a lot of because you're constantly transferring in and out. You're losing money all the time. Go and click on your game week history up here. Yeah, 1 green arrow, bro.
That's not that bad.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I'm a noob. I've only.
Shut up. I'm not. No, I've been trying to help you all the way, man. I'm not having those excuses.
That one week there where I had a green arrow was where I didn't listen to Ez.
Shut up. But yeah, you can see he's been struggling. But also, I mean, the amount of the transfer points that have cost you,
I spent loads on transfer.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be hundreds of points better off just by not making so many transfers. But it's a learning curve, and I want you to enjoy it. And like I say, make sure that. But yeah, the only thing that bothers me that even when you didn't have Haaland in your team, you had no money in the bank. So which means that you probably transferred in and transferred out in the same week certain players, and which means obviously you're going to affect your value.
It took to move around like 8 players to get Haaland.
But have you used all your chips? Yeah, you have, haven't you? Yeah, you used them all. Okay, guys. Lesson learned anyway. You'll be better next season. The season's not over, mate. So where are you? Your overall ranking at the moment is
Overall ranking is 8.8 million.
All right. Let's try and get you in the
That's
top
not that
5.
bad. There's like 70 million people in the UK.
This
Is this worldwide? There's like 8
is
billion
worldwide.
people worldwide.
There's
There you go.
worldwide.
8
There's
million's not that bad then.
10.3 million people playing. There's probably 2 million of those who aren't playing, who aren't engaged. So of the engaged managers,
at least half the adult population is playing. There's probably about 4 billion people. So
my aim, Crypto, is to get you in the top 3 million by
next week.
By March. It's going to be steady progress, mate, but we're going to do it incrementally because, right, Haaland is staying in now. You're not going to be moving Haaland out again. Let's go back to your team. You're not going to be moving Haaland out again.
No.
Unless, who are your premium midfielders? Yeah. So Son will be going on international duty in about 4 game weeks time. So that's going to give you some money to play with in that midfield. So, and you got Trippier as well. I'm really tempted to jump on Alexander-Arnold, you know, because
Nicky's got it right. I'm fiddling around too much like Cooper.
Yeah. You're
too many changes.
You should change your FPL name to FPL Tinkerman.
I'm the basement dweller version of Steve Cooper.
The cellar dweller. Guys, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Thank you for everybody who's in the chat. Is there anybody who Plessy FC?
Check out Nicky's team.
Yeah, let's have a look at Nicky's team, and let me go into my. I'll have to share the screen again in a bit. Let me just get it set up first. Nicky, roughly where are you in the league? Shout it out to me, Crypto, because I'm on the.
I don't know. Just close the tab. Let me have a look at my mobile. See if I can find him.
Because otherwise, I'm going through 4 pages of
Plessy FC.
Plessy FC. Put it in the chat, Nicky. Roughly what position you're in, so I can at least narrow it down to 100 or something.
Bottom, he says. Right.
Is he near bottom? Let's go. Let me go to the last page.
He must be doing better than me because he's not below me. 182.
182. Yeah, there he is. He's only slightly better than you. He's about 50 points better than you. But let's have a look. I'm gonna just share my screen and set. Let me just get that. Present. Share screen. Right. Plessy FC, Nicholas Blackwell to full name you. In comparison to the rest of us, you had a decent week, mate.
Maguire in there.
Well, Maguire is somebody I'd probably hold on to actually at the moment. Oh, jammy bastard. McTominay, you jammy fucker. No wonder you had a decent week, man. Who did you captain? Salah? Yeah, pretty much so Salah or Haaland. I mean, Salah, Haaland, and Son all blanked last week, you know, and they were the 3 captain last game week. And they were 3 top captain picks for everybody. So obviously nothing from our boy Big Vlad. He's got both Forest goalkeepers. What a mug, Nick.
True fan.
What a mug. Right. So. Any question? What do you want to do, Nicky? What do you want to do with that team? Are you looking to make any changes?
I had Doku in, but I dropped him because he had a few bad runs.
Yeah, he's not guaranteed minutes, is he? That's the only problem with Doku. But he didn't play. I don't think he played the last game, so I think he's going to start tomorrow. I mean, I had Bernardo Silva in for a few game weeks. Don't give up just yet. Don't give up just yet. I
think she's telling me to give up.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, fair enough. Good advice. You started late. Yeah, you started game week 3 or 4, Nicky. Okay. But, Nicky, let me go back into your team. Let me have a look. Right. So, we'll talk about it as well, Crypto. Who are you putting a captaincy on this weekend?
Haaland, because they're playing Luton, so you'd think Man City versus Luton would be a pretty easy match unless they're managed by Steve Cooper.
I'd agree with you. Well, so he's really got no bench, so to speak, of cash. What's happening with Matty Cashman? I said to you guys a few weeks ago I'd get rid of him. Plus, he's on 4 yellow cards, so he's only booking away from a suspension. I'd get him out, mate, and he'll give you some money to play with, Nicky. So I'd probably transfer him out. He's 4.99 million. I don't know how much you bought him for, but the way you can check is if you when you're in your pitch view, if you go on list view. In fact, I'll be able to see on there what we're talking about. Right, so here we go. Who was I looking at? Sorry, I was looking at Cash. So how much did he buy him in for? Why is it not showing that stat? Maybe only... it should show you... I don't know why it's not showing that stuff. So when you go into it yourself, it'll show you how much you've bought the player for and how much you'll get if you sell him. So guys, so anytime you buy a player and it goes up in price, you only get maximum 0.5 of that back. So say you bought a player for 4 million and he went up to 4.4 million. If you trade him in, you'll get 4.2 million back. But if he'd gone up to 4.5 million, you're only going to get 4.2 million back. It's not until he goes up to 4.6 that you'd get 4.3 back, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So you get maximum 50% back of that, of the profit. So bear that in mind when you're selling your players. But I would definitely be selling Matty Cash if I were you, bud. Sorry, let me just go back one page. So I'd definitely be selling Matty Cash, Nicky. That's probably the only change I'd make. Where was he? 182, wasn't he? Possibly the only change I'd make. I don't think you're desperate to do anything else, really. Just because you want something on the bench. And Doku will probably play. So I might, if I were you, if you're not going to make, you don't desperately need to make the defender change. So if you've only got one free transfer,
take a defender off and put another midfielder in.
Yeah, but who's he got? He's got Doku, hasn't he? So but that means using if you've only got one free transfer, Nicky, then I would probably not make a transfer and carry over to next week. So you got 2 to play with. So you can let me know. Let me know if you've got how many transfers you got this game week, Nicky, because you don't need to make a desperate change to your starting lineup. I would carry it over so you got 2 next week. Because then if you do need to make major changes, like I've had to do this week, I probably will take a hit, or I'll hold off. Depends if I'm going to change my goalkeeper or not. Yeah, but anyway, guys, we've waffled on for long enough. Hopefully, there's been some information there for you. The deadline is at, let me just double check. I think it's at 11 tomorrow. I think there's an early kickoff, isn't there?
It is at 11, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. So yeah, so guys, make sure you got your transfers on your game week changes. Yeah, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Make sure you got all your changes, all your transfers, and your captaincy picks in by then. I will probably agree with Crypto. I'm probably going to go with Haaland as my captain for this game week. Let me just stop sharing that screen. But yeah, guys, thank you for everybody who's been in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. I'll try and keep it consistent with the streams. I've got to test out my laptop while I'm here. So hopefully we'll figure out whether it's an issue with my connection or whether it's with the laptop. I'm over at my mum's now, so I'm going to do some testing. But thank you guys for everybody.
You haven't plugged a USB 3 into a USB 2, have you?
No, I've not done a Rob. No, but bless you guys. We have got obviously the wash along tomorrow with crypto with Wolverine, and he'll probably do depends on how bad the result is. So we might go straight into a gore tomorrow again. Probably not. He'll do his player ratings and all that, and the gore will either be tomorrow night or Sunday. We're looking to do a call in over weekend as well. So anybody who wants to call in and call us out for calling people pricks and stuff like that, they're more than welcome to do so. The phone lines will be open, or the stream will be open for anybody to join in. Crypto, thank you for your time, mate. Thank you for entertaining me with your FPL team as always. I'll keep trolling you. We'll get you into that. What did I say? Top 4 million or 3 million? Let's say 3 mil by March. Yeah, I'll do that. But thank you guys. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you, Nicky. Thank you, Emma. And thank you, Dino, who was in here earlier as well. Guys, we'll see you soon. And do we want 3 points tomorrow? Come on, you Reds.
You Reds.